Okay, so welcome again. We usually display this to help those who have problem connecting their mics, their audio devices. So this is the operational orientation for onboarded ambassadors. We believe that everyone that is here has been onboarded. And so we want to provide all necessary support that will onboard every one of us. So in the next few minutes, we are going to run through this orientation, and then we'll make our contributions and questions. So we are going to follow this outline. We want to look at what it takes to be an ambassador, and that is understanding who you represent, as we know. Then we'll look at the mission, vision, goals, and strategy of Havron. We look at the core values of Havron as an organization. We look at how to align with the operations of Havron. Then there is the how to do things, how to be successful. Actually, this orientation is a series, is in series, and this is how to be a successful ambassador of Havron. And then we'll look at the support that Havron will give to ambassadors to make them succeed. And thereafter, we look at our questions and answers. So now, understanding who you represent is very, very important, because as an ambassador, you are the image of the country that you represent. And in this case, you are the image of Havron. So we need to understand who Havron is and what Havron represents. Now, knowing and understanding who you represent connotes the following. One, you need to understand the vision of the organization. You need to understand the mission of the organization. There are goals and aspirations that the organization is pursuing. You also need to have a firm understanding of this. You also need to understand the core values. And then you know how to align with the operations of the organization. So for Havron, there is what we are after, there is how we go about it, and then there is when for each item that we want to go after. So we are going to be looking at how all this come to play and then help each ambassador to fulfill his or her own goals. So now let's look at the mission, the vision, the goal, and strategy of Havron. On several platforms, we had mentioned that our vision is to bridge the skills gaps in Africa. And we want to do this through online learning programs and career pathways. However, we know that we conduct face-to-face trainings once in a while as the need arises. So this mission, as it's captured like this, does not limit our activities to online only. We also conduct on-site trainings, and not only in Abuja, we also conduct it in different states in Nigeria. For outside Nigeria, we haven't attempted that, but we are equal to the task if we have the demand. So that is our mission in a nutshell. And then the vision, what we or where we hope to be. We want to be one of the leading online learning platforms in Africa. So that is where we hope to be. We had a midterm goal, and we are looking forward to achieving this by 2027. And that is to create access to high quality and cost-effective programs for 10,000 participants across Africa by 2027. During our last orientation for the ambassadorial scheme, we informed us that as of December last year, we were at 25%, which informed the need to launch the ambassadorial scheme to increase access so that we can move out of this 25% to at least 50% by the end of this year, minimum. That's what we are looking at. Now, our strategy is to use our number. We had played this our strategy on the card when we sit to discuss with organizations. And that strategy is to use our number. We have the number and we keep growing. So when we meet organization, we say, see, we have this number, give us discount. And then we'll give you the number of people you want to take your courses. So this strength, which we have in our number, is giving us two advantages. One is helping us to create access to more number of people. Two is helping the people who are coming on board to gain access to these programs at cheaper rate compared to when, if assuming they were to go as independent candidates to these schools. So this is our strategy. It has been working and we keep strengthening that. Now let's look at our core values as an organization. Number one is honesty. I can look at everybody who is on this call now, and I can say out of the 14 persons here, I'm not sure I've met any one of you here physically. You don't know my background. You don't know, if anything happens, you don't know where to get me, but you still trust your funds into our hands. So that is the strength of honesty in all that we do. So we value that also. Very closely to it is integrity. So many things will come, but we hold our integrity at high esteem. Now, some of you here have had to pay something in the neighborhood of over $1,000 at once. Others have paid $1,000, yes, at once. Yet you don't know us. So we believe that when we play out these games, gradually people begin to know us, people begin to trust us. And so when we have earned their trust, we can actually launch out and then we'll be very, very successful. Then we believe in fairness. When you are working from behind the scene, people are not seeing you. You have the ground to play all kinds of funny games. But we hold fairness to a high esteem. And that is why sometimes we publish a lot of things to carry people along. So these are our core values, which every ambassador should know, should understand, and should embrace if you are going to represent Havron wherever you are. Now, how do we align with the operations of Havron as ambassadors? One, we need to understand the what. Now, in this case, we had gradually built our partnership with other organizations. And so we have different programs from different organizations. There are times we will pick out a course or a program, and then we launch it out. So the programs that we launch out, the ambassadors should understand what programs these are, what kind of programs they are. So it's important that they align with what we are doing to understand. I've the profiles that we have created for over 32 or 33 ambassadors. We are members in those groups. And we have seen wonderful comments, wonderful posts made by some ambassadors. Some have even gone to the extent of extracting our contents from our website to share. That is building the knowledge base of your participants around what you are representing. And we really appreciate that. Some are also talking about our visions and our missions in their groups. That's wonderful. We appreciate that. So this is also part of what we are doing so that we can bring every one of us to speed, to be on the same page with everyone on Havron ship. We also need to understand the when. You will also know that there are some courses that come at certain times. We are building our calendar, and very shortly, once we are done, we will share that, which will guide you also when you are engaging with your members. We will also be sharing ahead of time some courses from other partners who periodically offer courses, especially like University of Washington. Our other partners, I think that is just on their courses come as at when participant or student want to enroll. But for University of Washington, it has periodic time. And so we will also be letting you know when these courses come on board. Then we need to understand how the courses are run, how you will enroll, or how you will advertise for these courses, how you will enroll, how you will pay. So we are going to discuss more on the how. Understanding the how. Now, when an ambassador is armed with full understanding of the core values, the vision, the missions, and goals of Havron, you will be able to successfully do the following. Number one, you can recruit your members using our strategies. You know, when you speak with one person, it's different from when you speak with a group of persons. Okay, so we need to understand how to recruit members, and we have started helping out. How we started out was just a word of mouth. It's a network. We connected one person, says, look, this course is coming on board, and these are the advantages. This is how much this course will cost if one person goes for it. But if we are up to 10, we can scale it down. And everybody wants something that is quality and cheap. So I invite you, you invite another person, we are 3. That person invites another person, and the number grows. So that is the strategy. And we use different platforms. We use Telegram, we use WhatsApp, we use Facebook, and all the social media handles. In this age, those are big time, valuable channels that we can use to recruit members. We also should know how to run campaigns or programs. And this can be done when you have good understanding of the courses. I like some people who have contacted us asking us what are the advantages of such courses. They need to tell their participants, and that is good. So that some of those questions that came to us informed the need to hold this orientation earlier than we planned. Okay, I must confess that the zeal with which the ambassadors launched out, we were overwhelmed. We really like that, and we know that we are heading for great success. So we actually planned to hold this orientation later, but when we started getting those feedbacks, we felt, no, we need to come on board and speak on these things. So running campaigns of programs, what we want to be doing is each course that is coming, we will share a very brief overview of that courses and what advantages participants will earn when they study it. As you can see from our program catalog, there are over 100 programs. And what you have in that catalog is not all of the programs, because we deliberately did not include the Texila American University courses. Okay, so we represent them. We deliberately didn't do that for some technical reasons. So it means we have a huge number of programs. So we will be releasing them one after the other, but those degree programs, advanced postgraduate diploma programs, we need to also understand them, because as you bring in members to the group, members will be asking you, do you have this program? Just look at that catalog. And then when you answer, some other person in the group will say, oh, so that means there are even more programs than the one they have advertised. And he or she can also ask if you have so and so program. So by the time questions begin to come and you begin to provide answers, even those people will begin to bring in others. So but the forward campaign strategy that we are using now is those high ticket courses, those courses that are high selling. We are using them. That's why we are releasing them. We have released 3 so far. We have the project management in global health from University of Washington. We have our Excel, and then we have the life support certification from Save a Life Foundation in the US. Okay, so as time goes on, when more courses are coming, you will also be getting them. But very, very important is to understand how the programs that you are advertising will help your target audience and members of your group. Now, there is also how to collect payments, especially now that we have so many ambassadors. We don't want anybody's payment to be misrouted. We want everyone who has worked and earns a particular revenue, it should be channeled to that revenue. Let me just say here, in one of our partners, I did a work and it was, the reward was not given to me simply because I was told that the guy who enrolled said he had heard about that program before. Somebody told him about the program. He didn't do anything. But by the time I launched the program in that platform, it's one of the biggest platforms on the net. I launched that program, and then he now saw it, asked me questions. I provided and sold that to him. So when he enrolled, he did not mention me. He mentioned the person who first introduced him to that course. I felt bad. So I don't want that to happen to anybody. If you are running a program, please guide your participant to pay in a manner that that payment can be linked to you. So many things come into our accounts, and sometimes it comes without a name. In Nigeria, when you go to the ATM machine and then you make transfer, the money can go successfully, but most times it comes without a name tag. So sometimes we just sit until somebody chats and said, I made this payment. And then we begin to ask, where did you make the payment? Because we receive payments and no name. So by the time we successfully confirm, we'll link that. So what we are doing in terms of payment, we have 2 or 3 methods. Number 1 is to create a customized payment link. A customized payment link that once you share in your forum and somebody clicks that and makes payment, on our dashboard, all the payments are categorized under that particular payment link. So when you click, if you come to the dashboard and you click, it tells you, it displays all the payments that came in, including the names of the people who paid, including the way, the time, the date that they made that payment. So it's easy for us to link such payments to ambassadors. And what we are trying to do is, for each course that is being paid for, we want to create a link. Some ambassadors have received, I think, up to 2 links. One is the project management, and I think the other, okay, I think it's only project management. I can't remember if we have done for Excel for any ambassador. So we will develop that and share with you so that you can encourage them to pay through those payment links. However, we know that there are some who may be averse to paying online. They may be unsure whether to use their ATM card online. We don't want that to deter some people, so we are providing a second option. This second option is applicable to Nigerians. So you can direct them to pay directly into our account. You ask them to give you proof of payment. So when they share that with you, you share with us. Then we will manually link that payment to your platform. Then the third system is more applicable to our foreign partners. The payment link, okay, let me also speak about the payment link for our foreign partners. If we understand the currency that you will prefer, we have created one for our Cameroonian ambassador, and we use the official rate to get the CFA value of the course fee. And then we did that and shared. So if you are from any country, we can also design that. Those in South Africa, Liberia, you can tell us. Or alternatively, we can just use a uniform USD. So when we use that USD, you can pay with any currency, and then the value is credited to our account. So these are the three, the 2 methods. The third one that I was trying to explain for our international participants, like in Cameroon, I know that Momo accounts, Momo payment is easily done there. So what we want to do is, the ambassador, for instance, let's take Cameroon, for instance, you know the value in CFA of each courses. You can collect the payment, and then you can now let us know, use our payment as coming from participant you want to remit. Then we can give you a payment link, can transfer that straight into our account using your card. Okay, so it's easier that way. Or there is a system that we'll be using for our Cameroonian participants. However, from other countries, okay, in Syria alone, the payment there, they usually go to the bank to make payment. So we are going to handle the payment system on case-by-case basis, depending on the country and depending on the prevailing situation for each country. So these are some of the things that we need to know on the how. Then the next thing that ambassadors need to understand is how to onboard students. Now, some of the programs that we run have different ways of onboarding participants, those who have paid and need to go on board the course. So we need to understand that. And as time goes on, for any course that we are rolling out and we want to onboard students, we will let every ambassador to know that this is happening and this is the timeline. For University of Washington, what we usually do is we take time to recruit and receive payment. And then shortly after registration has closed officially, we collect payments, and then we need to confirm the number of participants that will onboard and send to University of Washington. And it's the number of people who have paid that we send to them. So that is on one side. Then for other courses, like the ones from Havron, that one, because we coordinate that one internally, yes, our timelines are usually not very tight. So if a course is starting tomorrow, we can even onboard participants today. But for University of Washington, it doesn't happen that way. Okay, so and other programs like degree programs, the advanced postgraduate diploma programs, they have their different onboarding policies and protocols. So as time goes on and as we announce any course or as you enroll any member into any course, you just let us know and we'll take time to explain those processes. Now, finally, let's look at the support that we will be giving to ambassadors. Our plan is to have Havron staff supporting every ambassador. Right now, we have over 32 or 30 that have onboarded. So it's not easy for everyone to just be reporting to one person. So what we have done, we are segregating. And as we see activities happening in your group, in your WhatsApp group, we will let you know that we are sending a staff to support you and to guide you. And we have done that for a couple of ambassadors. So that is one way that we will support you. We also will support you by providing course overviews, which we will be sharing from time to time to equip you with knowledge about the courses so that you'll be able to answer questions from your participants. So I've talked about the payment collection. We will do this for you. You just let us know, and then we will send you this. Like I explained, the payment links will make our record keeping seamless. We're also designing customized program flyers so that you can use that for your social media postings and in your groups. I think one has gone out to each person, that is Save a Life certification courses. So thanks everyone for your attention. At this point, I will pause to receive questions, answers, and comments. So thank you, everyone. Are you still here? Okay, okay, good enough. Rama, your hand is up. Please unmute and speak.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I am Rahma Haruna Musa from Nigeria, northeastern part of the country. Sir, in regards to, though I have to commend you for this wonderful presentation. We really are acquainted with what you just said and really understood, really take us through what we need to know about what we are supposed to do and how to guide our own participants in regards to enrolling them into the various programs University of Washington is having. Nevertheless, I just want to need more clarification in regards to the collection of payments because we talked about creating customized payment link. And the second one, I couldn't get what you just said due to probably the network issues I'm having here with me. but I need more light on that. And again, for the support you said, each of the ambassadors will be supported by one staff from the University of Washington. So I don't know, how do you intend to start that? So I need more clarification in regards to that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I will come to that. Good, Gianni. How I wish if you could rename your devices. I think, and yes, if you could rename your device. So Gold, go ahead and speak and let us know who you are. Gold Gianni.
Okay, this is Gold David Suberu
Okay.
from Port Harcourt, Nigeria. I want to ask if you can explain the things you said at the beginning of the meeting, because I maybe network or whatever, I didn't really connect well until about 20 minutes into the program.
Okay. Thank you. Mikhailo, please unmute and speak.
All right, good evening, everyone. Yeah, my own is with regards to the cardiac life support. And when I introduce somebody to it, the first thing they ask me is when is the course going to begin? So I think it's important when we are unraveling things like that, we have an idea of when and how the course is going to be conducted so that we can feed our viewers accordingly. I think that's just my own problem. And secondly, with regards to the payment link, I don't know, are you guys going to be the one to create the payment link? Because for me, I think that's going to be better compared to the other payment modalities. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next is Do Baren.
Can you hear me?
Okay, it's better now. We can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much for the presentation. I want to know who can register for the course. Is it anybody, or there are a specific group of people that can register for the courses? Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so Nnamdi, you're next.
Okay, good evening, sir. Thank you for the presentation. So I want to find out, I'm Nnamdi from Southeast Abia State, Nigeria. Okay. I want to find out, sir, for example, the basic life support, one of my prospects is asking me, what is the duration for the certification? That is one. Then secondly, if there's any way that the certificate can be reached, because one of the programs I did sometime last year, to date, I've not gotten the certification. I know it's out, but it has not reached me. I've written so severally to the person at the head that is helping us in the group then. But till now, I've not gotten the certificate. And I wouldn't like that to be also repeat for these prospects and these ones that will be coming in. For them to, after doing it, they will now be finding it difficult to get the certificate. That's my issue. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I think that's all. And I have some questions. Nobody's hand is raised again. Okay, yes, that's the last. Then I have some questions. Let me see if it's some or one question from our friend in South Africa, Lesotho. He said, I'm from Lesotho, and since I have run with my colleagues, we were assisted by Dr. Senga and Dr. Shungu to make payments. Will it be a problem to continue with the assistance? Well, no, it will not be a problem. Even yesterday, I received a payment from Dr. Shungu The only problem is the delay. He seems to be very, very busy. And what I do for international participants, let me also mention it here. The Cameroonians, they are aware of this, and Lesotho participants, they are aware. What we do, because of the problem in transmitting payments, once I get the assurance that they are going on board, we enroll them while we wait for payment, for their payment to come in. Sometimes also when we are not hosting a course and they have switched to another site, we pay for them and then wait for their payment to come in. So our friends from Lesotho, you will still be receiving that support as long as Dr. Shungu and Dr. Senga will continue to provide that support. We will continue to align with that. Okay. So my friend Sumo from TRC and Liberia, your hand is up. Please go ahead and speak.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
So I'm Sumo Jala from Liberia, but I work in Democratic Republic of Congo. Thank you for this orientation. Like I did in the chat room today, I was asking you, because like my country, Liberia, mostly we do our transaction in dollars. So maybe you help me with the exchange rate of the day. Maybe there's a link from the Central Bank of Nigeria or so. That when I'm talking, because my first target is my country. I'm looking at people to join the program from Liberia mainly. So I want getting onto our local platforms on social media. So what can I do? If I post it in Naira, I can tell you definitely they will be a bit confused. So if I can have the posts cost in dollars, that's something good. That's my point. Thank you.
So thanks so much, Sumo. Yes, we have captured that question, and then I'm going to respond to every one of them. So I'm trying to see if there are other questions in the chat box. Okay, no other question. Okay, so I want to believe that I've been able to capture all the questions that were raised. So number one is she needs more clarification on payment, especially as regards to Nigerian ambassadors. Yes, we talked about that payment link. So the payment link is, when we design that payment link, it has your name, it has your unique ID on our portal. So you will share that within your group. They will follow that link, click it, and pay. Everybody, or let me not say everybody, majority of organizations in Nigeria use Paystack, use Flutterwave, use Remitter. So what we are using is Flutterwave for the purpose that we are running now. We can also use Paystack. We can also use Remitter because we have account with all this. So how it runs is you just share that, and anybody that clicks it, the person is given the option whether to make a transfer to the bank. So they will give you an account to make the transfer. And once the transfer is done, they let you know that that payment is successful. They can also ask you if you want to use the USSD, which means you will use star so, star this. So they will give you the code. Those who are very comfortable using USSD to transfer, you just dial that USSD and then the payment is made. There are also the option of using your card. So you just input your card details and then the payment is done. So that is number one method. The other method is, say I am the ambassador and I have a participant who wants to pay for project management. I will tell that person, please go ahead and pay into Havron account, our UBA account, and then share the link, the payment details with me. Now, once that payment detail is shared with you, the ambassador, you will let us know. So and so person from you has made this payment. This is the evidence. So we'll use that now, link it up. We'll transfer that payment to your platform. Say this revenue is coming from this ambassador. So that is one way. The second way we are doing for Nigerian ambassadors. However, we can also attempt case by case situation for ambassadors who may, if your participant they prefer to send the money to you, then you collect the payment and then make the payment to us and then give us the details of that payment that you have made. This person paid for this person paid for this person paid for this. This is the total, and this is what we have sent into your account. Then we will use that and then record those revenue against the ambassador's record. So those are the things, the payment system we are adopting for the ambassadors. So for number 2, more clarification on support from Havron. I think you probably didn't hear me very well. The support is not coming from University of Washington. The support is coming from Havron. The support is coming from Havron. So what happens is, I think I also need to mention this, ambassadors who have a good number of participants coming from their group will be included as facilitators so that they also will receive certificates of appreciation from University of Washington for facilitating in those courses. So if as we are running the project management, for instance, now, and you're able to bring, let's say, up to 10 participants or thereabouts, then we can bring you on board if you have the time. If you have the time to provide that support, we'll bring you on board, send your details to University of Washington, and they will include you as a participant, as a facilitator for that course. So the support that we are giving to the ambassador is coming from Havron, not from University of Washington. Okay. So for the clarification that is sought for the early presentation, if you wouldn't mind, I'm going to share the recording of this meeting so that participants can also listen to them time and time again, so that we'll just forge ahead. Is that okay? I think it was good that made this request. Go, please.
Yeah,
do you have your,
it's okay.
Please.
It's okay. I get it.
Okay. All right.
Thank you
So
very
thanks
much.
so much. Yes. Now for the cardiac support courses, I'm going to answer. I think there are about how many questions that came on this. For the cardiac support courses, number 1 is self-paced, but if you give it time, it's something that takes about 10 hours to complete. And once you complete it, you will download your certification, the card, immediately. So I think I'm answering the other question that talked about the duration for the life support certification. How long does it take to be issued, the certification to be issued? It is issued immediately once you pass the exam. The course and the exam can take you about 10 hours. But because of several factors, you may take it for more than 10 hours. You may take some time now, then you skip. I mean, you just pause, then you may start tomorrow, you may start next week. It's self-paced. I'm going to extract the exact time limit that you have access to it. Okay, I think it's some months, but I need to confirm that. So that's about that for cardiac support courses. I'm going to give more details on this so that we can be well informed. It is, I think, the acceptability is very, very high. Although sometime last year when we ran the program, we understand that Canada does not accept that. I think so. I need to find out the status now. But the US and some other countries will accept that. Okay, so I'm going to confirm how many other countries that do not accept that. But it's coming from the US, and it's a certification issued by the Postgraduate Medical Institute in the US. And Postgraduate Medical Institute is the body that that regulates certificates issued by American Heart Association. Okay, so if the same organization that approves AHA certification is also approving for Save a Life Foundation, you'll be rest assured that it has a wide acceptability and it's very, very credible. Okay, the other one is payment links. Who creates them? We at Havron, we create them for each ambassador. Okay, that answers that. Who can register for a course? Any requirements? Yes, for all our professional development courses, there is no restricted requirements. Anybody can go for it. It's all about building your skills, building your career profile. So if you desire to go for a certification program, for leadership and management, for instance, even people, secondary school leavers, they can take that course. We know there are secondary school leavers who find themselves working in organizations. They may be there as at the entry point. Leadership and management in health will help them. So there are no requirements for that. However, for degree programs, advanced postgraduate diploma programs, yes, all you need to do is let us know which course that you want to run. We'll give you the requirements. Like we say, it's a very big portfolio. I think what we'll do is we will going to get a version 2 of that program catalog so that for each of those degree programs, we are going to give the requirements, who and who are going for those courses and what are the requirements. I think we are going to do that, look into that. Okay, so the last one is payment links in USD according to official rates. Sure, we will do that. It's something that we've done before, and people use that to pay and we receive the payment. Okay, so we don't even need to do any, they said, what we have included in our catalog, those costs, the fees are there in USD. All of them are there in USD. So all we do is use the official rate to change them to Nigeria or whatever currency. So that's about that. And I think some questions may have come in. Let me go up. Say, please, we need to know when the data analysis course starting, as I'm online with the prospect, and what is the duration. That our flyer spells out the duration and the date. We are starting on 21st, which is on a Monday, and it's going to run for every day for that week, but it's going to be by 8 p.m. when people will have come back from work and then rested. And we are going to be running just for 1.5 hours every day, or at most 2 hours. So the entire syllabus is going to take between 10 and 11 and 12 hours. Okay, so what we have just done for that 7 days is that there are some times that we may not even have serious work to do. We just come and we will review and do practical demonstration. There are some courses that are, there are some concepts that are easy to assimilate. So those ones, they are just walk over. They won't take up to 2 hours. Then there are others that might take up to 1.5 hours to explain, and then another 30 minutes to practice and understand. So that is how that runs. And let me see if there's another question. Is it possible for participants to pay instrumentally? Yes, we can accept that. If you approve, you know your participants, you are the one. But before the course starts, everybody must have paid completely. And then again, it depends on the course. If the course, for instance, our data analytics, yes, the person can pay instrumentally, then before the course starts, he or she would have paid completely. For University of Washington, we usually have a cutoff point. Like right now for our project management, those who are within Havron would know that we have open payment and even instrumental payment. So it's possible. But if you are going to accept that, you are taking responsibility. We don't know them. We're not going after them. It's you we know. Okay, so that's that. The certificate is for how long before it expires? Okay, for the live support courses, it's 2 years. It's 2 years, and then you can recertify again. Yes, the BLS, the ACLS, the PLS, all of them are active for 2 years. So thanks, everyone. I think that's all about the questions that we have. If there are other ones, please let us know. It's already past 9. We have spent about 50 minutes. We started 8:15, and in the next 6 minutes, it should be 1 hour. So if there are no other questions, I beg to pause and then close the meeting. Thank you, everyone. Expect the recording of this meeting latest by tomorrow. You are doing great work, and we know that with our support, we are only going to record great success. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you and good night.
Thank you. You're too much.